Hello, welcome to some more background noise of children's programs. But in the meantime, I've got a few fights over 2 wars, just because, why not? We've got newly ranked 4th Prowler, because previous rank 3 was a bit sad. Anyway, Sentinel on node 9. It's clean, it's a bit long and boring, so I've just sped it up. We've all seen this before, but it went quite nicely for me and whatever. I'm only doing sort of averaging around 3 fights a war at the minute, which is nice, but sometimes I get a bit hungrier. Sometimes I do a little bit more. I'm mainly including these fights because they've just got a bit more Symbiote fun and some Abs Man fun as well. When Symbiote is available, because I'm seeing lots of bans, which makes me sad, I'm then having to compete with the hungry Mojo and Sorcerer Supreme players in my battle group, and, you know, I'm retired. So I let them get on with it and it's fine, as long as I get to have a bit of fun. Sadly, covering mostly a bit of Path 9 now means I don't always get to bring Spidey Supreme. But there you go. Anyway, we've got Serpent on 27 here, which is, again, just standard Symbiote Supreme fight. I think I did 4 fights this war. This is against, I think, UPS, who I've never heard of, quite honestly. I think they're sort of similar to us in that they're a Plat 1 alliance. My dog's just trying to eat my daughter at the minute, so I'm just sort of pushing him away. He's very sad. He sees me talking to someone but wants the attention. Stop, leave her alone. Anyway, I think I got to my 100 genetic a little bit too quickly here, and so by the time my 3 bars came along and like the next stagger helped, the genetic charges reset. Luckily, the 100 kicked back in before I threw this L3. Otherwise, we were on to sort of a bit of a lesser time, shall we say? But we got the 100 genetic, fired the L3, and now Wheat is in control. A couple of L2s. We all know how this goes. It's always a pleasure doing this fight. I'm really enjoying Symbiote for this tactic. Not that Serpent's a tactic defender, so this is just completely standard. But yeah, easy claps. Easy claps. Lost a couple of units of health, and that will do. 30 hits later. Yelena on 36 here. Went to go with Wolf, which was this was pretty fun despite being a bit boring. That's a massive oxymoron. Murphy, leave her alone. So we're just going to hit block mostly. A couple of times she makes me intercept her, which is annoying. And to be honest, this would be more ideal using an unduped Wolf, because dupe gives me the unblockable at certain points when I have enough lycanthropy charges. And I'd rather not be unblockable, because then it means I get hazard shift on me. And that's fine, it doesn't hurt me too much, and I get regen also. I thought I was getting to 2 bars there, but I didn't. That's Wolf's slower power gain punishing me, but level 1's fine. Just build back up to 2 bars. We're going nice and patiently here. Due to the nature of applying loads of ruptures just through block and not actually hitting her, and the constant damage over time, we're just sort of whittling her down without actually worrying about ramping her up too much. Big L2 there to do a bit of magic. Again, because of her protection and stuff, we also doesn't do too much, but we are cooking her down. Like, take a combo to the face there, and then mistime the L1 dex, so that's fine. That's my indestructible used up, but we're doing fine. We are doing fine. There we go. See, unblockable sort of making life more difficult for me actually. Now I'm cornered. So, just got to get hazards on me, it's fine, I don't care too much, I'm not going to die here. Now I have to be careful, I can't punish it because of the... I also need to make sure, if she gets aggressive, I'm in trouble. Luckily she's being pretty good and holding block and allowing me to just pummel that, which in turn also reduces her combat counter. Strike counter, whatever you call it. And she's back to normal, and we can just finish her off. Bish bash bosh, big L2, and she is sleeping. Nice fight, slow, so again, had it on extra speed. And finally, we've got Karolina here. Karolina's been taking names from people, which is making me sad to see because she's just sort of, I find her quite easy. I wanted to Symbiote Supreme this, but I had to bring Wolf for Yelena, so I mean Symbiote. I meant Spidey Supreme, but Symbiote Supreme's just fine. Spidey Supreme's more fun, more satisfying because of the power control and the unblockable specials, auto miss. But I mean, this is cool, you know. Just more of an excuse to use Symbiote and have some fun with this tactic. And there we go, we eat an unblockable L2, which doesn't really hurt me too much. I've got my protection on and all that stuff. And we're going to punish her for being so disobedient and hitting me. Look at that, L1 dex like a pro. And I think this L3 finishes her off because of the nullifier. Look at that, 688k burst. Anyway, now we come into the next war, which I think was War 9, the one we've just done, against X-Men Legion, who are actually SGA, who were then Rim Reapers. I only got 3 fights here, all Abs Man stuff, but it was fun. Dark Phoenix Node 9. Stay in Uru form for this one because of the Rupture and the Bleed. Even though she's going to be pummeling me with Nova Flames and stuff, so we just need to keep hitting her. I've also got Eye-Bomb synergy for poison because of the node afterwards. I was careful not to... I was trying to be careful not to refine my form too much and medium, light, medium. Not to refine, the medium, light, medium for the regen, because when we get a regen from the tactic it nullifies a buff, and I didn't want to make her Safeguard or her Unstoppable or anything like that passive. So I was just essentially tanking health. I also could have played this a little more optimally in that I wanted to... Oh my god, I've forgotten how to speak. Maybe I'm having a stroke. Normally I would heavy into a special, but I was conscious that I was getting to a bar and didn't want to hold on too long for Mystic Dispersion and risk firing an L2 and losing my form. But anyway, that went down. I lost a bit of health, but it's all fine. Now I've got Weapon X here, which is pretty fun. Again, stick in Uru form and just nullify his... The indestructible is inconsequential, and we're just going to fire lots of specials. We're going to get punched in the face first. And we're going to go for an intercept after this and not get punched in the face again, like I normally do with Bastion. And yeah, we're just going to spam L1s. He's going to regen quite a bit, but we're putting down some big red damage. So that's nice. Just feels super safe, super satisfying, very smooth. That was a massive heavy. I'm only just appreciating these red numbers now, watching it back for the first time. Yeah, I've got a few friends that play in this alliance. Shout out to Coop, Hisp, an old friend, Argella as well. I noticed him hanging around there. So yeah, anyway, that's cool. Weapon X is down. And then we've got Hisp's Punisher to end. Typically, you want a hero mutant to kill Punisher to deal with his indestructible a bit easier. But he's placed here so that isn't going to work. So we're going to stick with Abs Man. He's going to try and apply bleeds and crit through my block and whatever. I don't really know buffed Punisher's full kit properly. But again, we're just going to spam L1s here. Be very careful of Mystic Dispersion. If I push to 2, we're going to carry on to 3 because I don't want to lose my form. And yeah, this is pretty satisfying. He does hit pretty hard through block, even though I've got Uru form, and I will refine to sort of increase that. Look at that, 3 L1s in a row because of the power efficiency from the tactic. This tactic is so dumb. And now we're just going to go on to fire 3 bars. That was like a 100k hit, over 100k hit heavy. I only looked at the red numbers. I didn't even see what the other numbers were, to be honest. But that was a big old heavy. And yeah, that indestructible was just a stall. He's better for BGs, really. I think that's typically what he's for. Because it just takes ages to kill him. Last tactic, last BG meta, people were using 4 stars, which was dumb. Let's regen a bit. Fire an L3. I think he's indestructible, so we're not going to kill him. Probably should have just carried on. Eat the L2 to the face like a boss. Don't die. And he's dead. Nice easy fight. And that was lots of fun. We lost... we lost this war, something like 15-1 or something. So it was nice and close, but good fun anyway. Shout out to the guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!